Good morning. We are on to build day 2, and so far it's coming along pretty good. The one thing I have realized, this being my first true full-size diorama, is that I built it too big. Like, it's going to be really cool when it's done, but it's definitely a larger scale than what it needs to be for how simple a scene it is. So in the future I'm probably going to try making smaller dioramas and then maybe scale things up for a larger thing. Like I want to do the prancing pony at some point, and obviously that's going to be a large scale project, but this is just a little bit too big for what it is, I think. So it is, however, pretty cool. I found some plants at Dollar Tree yesterday. I'm going to try to, you know, put some of these things up as fungi in the corners and paint them with some luminescent paint. Now I know a lot of people will, you know, the purists will say that it's completely pitch black in this scene. Bilbo can't see his own hand in front of his face, but you know, for the sake of it not just being black and boring, I'm gonna try to put a little bit of color into it, not too much, but I'm thinking some mushrooms and maybe some luminescent plants and stuff like that, and it'll give me an opportunity to use the glow in the dark paint I picked up. So I'm gonna give that a try. First thing I'm gonna do is paint, get this thing looking half decent, and then I'm going to work on some of the plants and stuff, get the miniatures in place, and lastly I'm going to try to do the water with Mod Podge. Just a little bit of blue ink in there. It's supposed to be dark water anyways, so we're going to give that a try, and hopefully we can finish it up today. So I made a black and a brown wash, just using some paint, stuck them in these old pizza sauce bottles, and the black wash I made was a little bit too pigment heavy. Obviously you can see it dulled everything down a lot, so I added some more water to it. Hopefully now next time I use it it'll be good, but I'm gonna have to definitely come back in with some gray and do some dry brushing and some highlights to bring back some of the lighter colors. So I'm gonna do the brown one now. Okay, so my version of the Agrax Earthshade brown wash wasn't very good, so I'm gonna do a little bit with my actual Citadel. Just to see the difference, and you might give myself a reference to what I need to do to make mine better. I'll attempt to give you guys a view of progress. Yeah, that Citadel wash does so much of a better job. Now that most of the main painting is done, I'm just going to do a little bit of highlighting. I don't want to go too crazy with it, but I just want to bring out some stuff. Just to give it a bit more contrast.
Okay, so the great thing about my trial and error is that down the road, hopefully you and I both can experience less of the error. As you can see, I thought Mod Podge mixed with some blue ink would do the trick for a nice dark water. Wrong. First off, I made it way too light, and secondly, way too thick. It only dried clear about halfway down, even after a few days of sitting. The next thing I tried was ink mixed with 2-part epoxy.
Famous last words. Here goes nothing.
This kind of worked, although the ink wasn't dark enough. When I tried to mix black paint with the epoxy, it almost immediately turned into a rubbery, unusable, venomous substance. Oops. Finally, I ended up painting black over my blue water, then added a thin layer of the 2-part epoxy to make it look wet. This ended up working reasonably well, and I'm happy with the final product. I hope that through this project, you've been inspired in some way, and that you can take what we learned into your own projects to make them better. If so, please consider subscribing and also joining the conversation in the comments with your own tips and tricks, so that we can continue to learn together. You can also follow along through social media or on my website, creatingmike.com, all linked below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.